What's up, fight fans? We are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I am your host, Edwin, and this is my co host, Jose Camachito Rivera. Say hello, Camachito.
Yeah, saludos, mi gente. What's up, fight fans?
What's up, guys? So today we have an interesting show today. We're talking boxing and breakfast. So me and my co-host here, we're coming to bring you and inform you about the world of boxing, and we're gonna be talking about the fights last night, Jerome Boots and his fight, and a lot of fighters and promising prospects on the card. All that and more. We're gonna get all into it, and we're gonna be touching up on to Subreil Matais and the recent split with Panda. We're going to be sharing our views. I'm sure you heard a lot about it, but we're going to be giving you our insight and what we know behind the scenes. So, first of all, before we get into anything, how you doing this morning, Jose?
I am good. I am good. Anxious to talk about what we saw last night. There was a top rank and a matchroom boxing card. Like always, we go back and forth, trying to get all the knowledge we can before we come on. Sometimes it's a little difficult and we'll miss a fight, but we'll do the best we can.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, before we get up to like the main event, you know, share with us what fighter and what match impressed you the most last night, and talk to me about what you saw last night and any fighter that you wanted to talk. What's up, Frontline? How you doing?
Front line.
Talk to
Siempre,
me.
el hombre siempre está apoyando. That's what's up.
He's always there. That's my
So
dude.
smash that like button, subscribe to the channel that will only grow if you guys support us. So vamos apoyando uno al otro.
Mic check, mic check. What's up, Frontline? So talk to me about some of the fighters that you saw last night, and which fighter impressed you the most last night.
To be honest, there wasn't a lot that impressed me about the undercard except one young man.
Okay.
Separately from, of course, Boots, who did his thing, did No Matias. But I mean, Sky Nicholson looked great, obviously, in the women's match, and she's looking to go up a little up and wait to see if she could bump heads with Amanda Serrano. And
Hmm.
also, there was a great knockout in the first fight on Matchroom with the light heavyweights. But the one that really, really, really impressed me was the kid that fought on Top Rank, Gio Lopez, a
Hmm.
130-pounder, Puerto Rican.
Hmm.
Um, this kid is up and coming. He's 16-0 with 12 knockouts. And, and I know this is going to surprise you since you're a big Abdullah Mason fan. He
Yep.
beat Abdullah Mason in the amateurs.
Ooh.
So this kid is the real deal. His name is Gio Lopez, Puerto Rican. So remember the name. He liver shot last night in the first round, disposed of a good opponent. So he's climbing up that 130-pound ladder.
Oh, you know what? That kid Gio that you're talking about, I gotta bring a glimpse of what he can be last night. When you mention him, that is the first time I've ever got to see him actually. That's interesting that you bring up the fact that he beat Abdullah Mason in the amateurs. Uh, both of these fighters are the next wave of boxers, and I really believe that boxing is in good hands with
It
a lot
is.
of these
It,
these
it is.
these prospects that are coming out.
With the only difference that Abdullah Mason is now in the pros at 135 and Gio Lopez is at 130. But
30.
you know how it is.
Oh no.
One day they'll offer a fight to Gio, say, listen, the man you beat in the amateurs, let's do this in the pros. You just got to go up and wait. If the money's right, they'll do it.
Same
They'll
thing
do
they're doing with Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney.
it.
Same thing.
Exactly.
Exact
Exactly.
same thing.
So keep
Um,
an eye
uh,
on the kid, though.
yes, when you make yourself that kind of star, eventually they're gonna want the two best or the top best to collide. and boxing fans are always clamoring for the top fights, whether we get them or not, or we get them late, 5 years too late. Hopefully, we get the fights we like to see. And as a boxing reporter, um, these are the kind of fights we talk about now, so that boxing world can hear us and you know acknowledge that that is one of the fights, potential fights we would like to see in the future. Just like uh Keyshawn Davis when he was beaten in the amateurs. I think it was 3 out of the 4 times he lost, or was it 4? I forgot, to Cruz. I'm not sure how many times he beat him in the amateur. He beat him for the gold medal though.
Yes, yes,
Even for the
yes.
gold
I don't
medal,
remember
Cruz.
how many
So
times also, but
right. So now in the pros, that builds for a bigger storyline. Shall they ever meet? You see, potentially, because they're not too far.
Like Jermaine Ortiz and Teofimo Lopez.
Exactly. And we talked about this. Jermaine Ortiz learned a valuable lesson about sparring with guys in your own weight division, because and then a future opponents. And these are all learning curves and so forth and so forth. So last night I also, when I took from the cards, I was watching like 3 fights. I got to be honest with you. I was watching. I had Matchroom here. I had the Top Rank here, and I had the UFC in the middle for my little UFC heads.
That the
And
UFC also was going on exactly. Yeah,
yeah. I got a couple UFC heads,
yeah,
and they were asking me questions about the fights. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching all the fights, and I'm saying to myself, uh, I felt like I was doing a little too much. I like to always sit back and observe the sweet science. That's
right.
what I
Yeah.
I like for me for boxing. And I was watching too much that I didn't get to pay attention or watch enough. But when we got to the Jerron Boots and his card, all bets were off. I was focusing. I locked in on that card. I started watching the fight. Now, my take on Jerron Boots Ennis' performance last night, I just got to say one thing. Ring rust is a real thing. It's a real thing. And
Absolutely.
people need to remember these kind of things when these kind of fighters are coming off of these massive layoffs, that even the most skilled of men, if you're not in the ring, I try to tell my fight fans this: training, sparring is different than being in fight shape, an active fighter. Adjusting to your fighter's speed. When you become that kind of superstar, kind of in the gym, nobody really wants to punch you because they don't want to damage you.
Right.
So, the only time they're really hard on you is when other guys from other gyms are coming in, and they don't give a fuck. But the guys in your gym, so I'm pretty sure Jerome Boots Ennis was staying in shape. But even after the fight, he admitted that his timing was off. He had to adjust to the speed of the punches. These are 8-ounce gloves, or what? No, they're higher. They're bigger. They're 10. So he's in there, and but it's just faster. It's faster. It's like when you train in the boys club when we were kids, and Carlos would put on those huge gloves on us, 16 ounces, and when we would get on the ring, it was 8 ounces. Our hands were flying, and it was just different, the adjustment to those kind of speeds and stuff, and it showed. What Ed Hearn said after the fight, talking about one fight at 147, now all of a sudden you're ready for Terrence Crawford at 154. Shall he pull that off? I believe Jerome Boots Ennis needs to stay in his lane, prove himself as a champion first in one division before you try to tackle the world's best fighter. um, if you yourself can acknowledge that, um, you need to be more active and get in the ring, the man you don't want to chase is probably the best fighter in the world. You want to get yourself the best position, and you want to be the best version of yourself before you try to tackle on something like that. And when the announcement was made of Terrence Crawford August 3rd card, now I see that they officially stripped Sebastian Fundora for the WBO, and that fight against Israel will be for, in fact, for 2 belts. It's going to be for the WBA and the WBO. So Terrence Crawford moving up, trying to solidify all 4 belts in his third weight division. For his first fight, he has the opportunity to win 2 belts. Not bad. Not bad start. That's not a bad start. So, Jerron Boots Ennis right now, he just solidified himself as a world champion for the IBF. And, because being the fact that he was upgraded by an email, he didn't really beat anybody. But last night, that's official. That's a done deal. The ceremony is complete. They put that belt around his waist. That is one more belt for the Americans. Okay. So now we got one back. Or one, we had that one, but we made that one official, just like we made
Right,
Tank
right.
Dave.
Yeah,
Just like,
stamp,
yeah,
stamp.
just like they made Tank Davis is official when he beat Frank the Ghost Martin.
Right.
So with America, the belts fluctuate in the sport of boxing, but it's good to see that that our guys are fighting back and competing for these belts. Um, Tell me, what were some of your takeaways of the fight with Jerome Busenis?
First of all, I got to give it to Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. They took a chance on doing that fight at the Wells Fargo Center, which holds 14,000 people. They sold out. They took a big chance with it, and to be honest with you, it was a sellout. So Boots did his thing. He brought the city of brotherly love together. They supported him, and he showed out in front of his fans. He got hit a couple of times, like you said. Ring Rush showed, unnecessary hits. You know, Shakur Stevenson actually, right after the fight, got on social media to say, you see, people are complaining that Boots got hit too much, but then when I want to not get hit and run, they complain. You can't satisfy everybody. Um, on the other hand, I think he should leave that Crawford thing alone and try to unify with another champion at 147. I think Mario Barrios should forget about trying to fight the Pac-Man and try to unify with Boots Ennis. Let Boots stay at 147
Come
and
on,
prove.
preach, brother, preach. Tell the fans what's going on. Please, everyone, drop these likes when my man and us is dropping down these facts. Okay, keep going, Jose.
So yeah, I think he should stay at 147 and unify and collect 2 or 3 belts. And before, anyways, I guarantee you that Crawford is after this fight is gonna go after the money because Turkey, Alicia, he's actually trying to make a big USA versus Mexico card,
I saw
which
that.
is Bud Crawford versus Canelo. I believe it's I posted it yesterday. Did you see it?
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna tell you exactly because
Okay.
I got so many fighters in my head that. So it's actually Crawford versus Canelo, Plant versus Muniga, and Stevenson versus Pitbull Cruz. I mean, that's a big show right there that Turkey is trying to make sometime down the line for 2025. I think Crawford would rather do that than to fight Boots Ennis. And I think Boots Ennis should stay in his lane right now, try to unify with Mario Barrios. And Mario
Yeah,
Barrios should stop chasing or saying yes to a retired fighter. Let Pac Man keep doing his politician stuff in his country
yeah.
and leave the man alone.
Yeah, that's a lose-lose for Mario Barrio. That's like Jake Paul's about to try to fight our legend Mike Tyson. If he
Yeah,
would have knocked out Mike Tyson in that ring, I would pray for Jake Paul's to make it out of that ring. All right. Because if
absolutely,
I
absolutely.
bust him in the head with my beard, I'll be like, you sucker. You had to be fucking an old ass Mike punk ass. Yo, that shit would have pissed me off. But and I didn't see no real other than the fact that Mario Barrio wants to have like a name like Manny Pacquiao on his resume as beating him. Um, you know, other
I,
than
I,
that,
I can't I can't respect that.
I can't respect that, right?
I
Other
can't
than
respect
that,
that.
like, why would you want to fight him? But a real fight, if you want a real fight, Jerron Boots Ennis is right there. Now that's where a real fight is, a
Exactly,
unification fight.
exactly. Let's
That's where,
unify. Let's
yeah,
unify.
yeah. Let's unify. You talking that, let fight a real fighter, an active fighter, and let Manny Pacquiao put on a show with someone else. you know.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
look,
Let him earn it. Let him earn fighting for that belt. He just can't cut the line. I mean, they can do whatever they want. All right, because the WBC is an organization that does a lot of things that people, you know,
I got a perfect example and a perfect story for you on that one. I kind of shared it with my viewers yesterday, but at the same age, Manny Pacquiao is 45, same age. George Foreman came back at 45, and when he came back on his first run for the title, he did it legit. He went to like these like hotel little bar things and fought there, and he fought his way up the rankings and legitimately got himself a world title fight against Evander Holyfield. He just lost the fight. But when he fought more, he was off. He was off a year layoff. He caught Top Rank and he called in a favor of Bob Arum. And Bob Arum got him the fight. And these guys were saying he didn't deserve that title fight. But the first title run he went on at 45, he did it legit. He
right,
didn't want no handouts, George Foreman. He was fighting like bums, making his way up the ranking. You know, like
right, right.
if Manny Pacquiao wanted to do some crazy shit like that, but I understand that his name, and I can imagine how many favors they owe Manny Pacquiao in the sport of boxing too. You know, so he can
So
call in and jump the line, but with the
jump the line
WBC,
and listen. Let me tell you what he said. Manny Pacquiao. So I don't know if he's with this, he's justifying to the people. But Pacquiao told ESPN, and I quote, I made history at 40 years old beating Keith Thurman. And I feel at 35, I have a lot left in the game, and I haven't taken a lot of punishment over the last few years. I want to go and make history. Barrios, on the other hand, said, I'm very excited the possibility of this fight being made. Manny Pacquiao is a future Hall of Famer, a legend, and someone I looked up to growing up. Let's share the world together, my friend.
I
The
knew
ring. Let's share the ring together.
I knew he was gonna spin it on some shit like that when I said it yesterday that he was gonna say, "Oh, it would be an honor to share the ring with a legend like
With a
this." And
legend.
yeah, and if you respect our legends as much, you know, you wouldn't put him in this situation like this. And then like I said to you, what the fuck is Manny gonna do if he's successful? What he's gonna defend the belt? What's he gonna do? You're just fucking up boxing. You're like coming in at a time and cutting over everybody's hard work. And you know how that one felt, Manny, and you're disrupting the division for just because you're Manny Pacquiao. Y te
Well,
picó, y like, you know what? I
they
wanna
had
try
a
it
date.
again.
He had a date versus Mayweather. Do that. Do that. Do a charity exhibition. Do something like that, like what Mayweather's doing with Gotti 3 again. But you want to go prime time, right there with the big boys. You were the big boys. And Mario Barrios, man, stop it. Seriously. I know you want that on your
Wow.
resume, but nobody's going to respect that. Now, if you
Wow.
go chase Boots Ennis and you unify, I'm gonna
Now we're
respect that.
talking. Now we're talking.
I'm gonna respect that
Now
exactly.
we're talking. Yeah. Um, look, I like the fact that you know, Boots Ennis did good. They gave him a great welcome homecoming. He was successful in his homecoming, you know, and recent months and stuff. A lot of boxers have been getting this thing where that homecoming thing wasn't so good to do. I spoke about this going into the Boots Ennis fight. There are some men that I don't know what it is. It's just something that I've learned throughout my life. Look at a man's eyes and it will reveal some truth. And when I was watching Boots Ennis on the interviews, I couldn't help but to notice his aura, his energy, and I knew right away that the crowd wasn't going to be a factor. You could put that man on the moon. You could put him in front of anybody. The square circle for those type of men is the square circle. The lights are not bright enough. Nothing. I said if he loses tonight, he lost because of his performance, or the guy was just better. But don't blame it on the homecoming guys. I'm telling you that
Mm.
right now. If he loses, I said because the moment is not too big for him. You
No,
know,
absolutely not.
he was definitely loose. Everything he was just battling with the fact of ring rust. He was battling with the fact that his timing wasn't on, his twitch muscles weren't reacting, the speed of the guy's punches. I mean, this guy hit him towards like I think it was like the fourth round. He hit him with like a straight shot. I saw boots and he
He
took it
got he
well.
got
He
he
got
got
drilled.
he
He
got
got drilled.
touched.
And
He
it
got
was
touched.
because of the timing, and he couldn't measure how to get out of the way fast enough. He knew the punch was coming, and it was like his head, but everything wasn't in sync like it once
But
was.
let me tell you, he was sneaking in some sneaky body
Oh,
shots. All
yeah.
right, and that's what people would say. Well, why did David quit? Well, let me tell you, those body shots catch up to you, and the corner observation of what their fighter is receiving, they know more or less. You know,
Jerome Bruce
he
Ennis
should.
broke his jaw.
What's that?
Jerome Bruce Ennis broke his jaw.
So, yeah, they were right to stop the
He,
fight
he
then
couldn't keep
because
going. When he hit him with that shot, you could see. Well, go back and watch the fight. They haven't
yeah,
announced it. I'm saying this. No one said this happened. I'm just saying this. When Durrani hit him, boom, you could see this part of his face went. It was like here. It went like this. It went like that. And then when he got up, he was like this, and he walked over. You could see the side of his face went like that. I said, "Yo, I think he got a broken jaw." And then he didn't get out.
it was it wasn't like Nico Ali Wash situation with his shoulder where you could tell that
Yeah,
it
where
was
that
out of
shit was
place.
like right here, like, and his hand
Right,
was
right,
dead. It was just dead. Like it was
right,
so
right.
clear. If I was the dude, I would have punched him right in. Yeah,
No, he was
he was
jumping
kind of
up and
like,
down, and yo, you gotta have heart, bro, because I imagine the pain you're in trying to avoid punches from somebody coming at you, and you're trying to put your shoulder in place. It's you got to give it to the
it's a weird feeling when that happens, right? It's happened to me before. Not that my shoulder popped out. Um, it's a weird feeling when you know in a fight that panic could start to set in, that the possibility of you losing is the fight has changed around. Your expression, your will, and the desire to still want to be there is questioned in that moment. And in that moment, you can go two ways. You can go inward, you could just ball up and accept that he's better than you, or you can just like go outwards and be like, you know what, motherfucker, let's go. Ah! You know, you're gonna have to knock me out. And to have that in you when a body part is injured, or you break your finger during a fight, or you see a tooth get knocked out, or your foot breaks, and the guy's still coming at you, he's showing you no remorse. And, in this sport is the hurt business. We're not trying to kill each other, but if that guy wanted, he could have just went for that arm with Ali Walsh and just start punching him in the shoulder. He's gonna quit. The pain
right,
would have been too severe.
right,
So you know, you're sitting there, you're saying to yourself, "Come on!" Like you're trying to give yourself courage. I've been there before, and that experience is scary. It's a real scary situation, um, and it really tests you as a fighter. Is this what you want to do? Is this what you want to be? And it'll really test your grit. These are things about fighters that I talk to my fight fans about that you can't predict. It's not like in the gym. My coach tells me, we're going to practice knockdown drills. You're going to get punched in the face, go down. And then after that, we're going to see how you recover. Now, beep, go. Poof, hit him, go down. All right, 8 count. We don't practice that shit. That's something that you got to learn in the fight. And then
right.
when your fighter's always winning, looking good against other guys because he's obviously better, you get this false sense that, oh no, this guy's the shit. No, wait, he's still got some grading to do. Let me see what he looks like when he's in trouble and the night's not going well for him. How does he make adjustments? How does he persevere? How does he will himself back into the fight? Not only will yourself back into the fight, but win the fight. Now I can say, check that box. Hit. My boy got heart. You
Right,
see?
right,
Okay. Now, when he gets knocked down, Are you gonna be that type of guy that no, I'm not gonna clinch. I'm gonna slug it out. Yo, you're gonna get knocked out. You gotta know when to clinch. You gotta know when to do these things. When you got knocked down, did you get scared? No. He goes, yo, he just dropped me. Okay, hurry up and put that thing on because I'm gonna go and I'm gonna knock this motherfucker out. Yeah, that I want to hear that from you. I want to know you're still in the fight. I want to know that you're not scared, that you're not second questioning yourself. You're not supposed to be counting rounds. You're supposed to be I'm fighting and tell me what you see, and me as a coach, I'll tell you what you see. And there's like all these situations is how you grow and develop as a fighter. And I really believe that those are situations none of us really know until our young fighters get put in these situations with fight after fight after fight. And that's where the experience comes in. Just like the other night we saw against Chocolito. Chocolito was doing good it was competitive first 2 rounds. Then this guy started to take off. He started to break him down. What you saw in that fight was Chocolito's experience, not panic, weather the storm. And then when the guy is thinking, oh, I got esto un bombito conmigo. I got this fight, right? Chocolito showed him, no, papi, boxing is much more. And sometimes you have to be patient. Why don't you hold this? Hang, hang, hang. And he started bringing the fight back to him.
That's because some fighters, you know, haven't been in those deep waters. And when you get a fighter like Chocolate, listen, 2 years. If you want to talk about ring rust, it was 2 years before this fight that he hadn't fought,
Mhm.
and he looked good. He did what he had to do. His experience won that match, and it was in a tomato can. It was a great fighter. Now, here we go with, I win a fight after 2 years. Now you're calling out Bam. Some fighters have to reality check themselves. Sometimes I know you're in the moment and you got a mic in front of your face and you want to call out the best, but you just came back after 2 years. Yes, you look good. You did what you had to do. Bam just went up 3 more spots in the pound for pound rankings.
I know you saw
You
that.
know, 3 more spots in the pound for pound rankings. So, you'll get there, my friend, but just stay in your lane. These fighters have to learn to stay in their lane
Yeah,
until their
and
time.
as far as some of the comments, Jay Will, Pudgy, listen, I just want to let you guys know that you cannot compare one fighter's injury, even though it's similar in fashion, to another fighter's injury. Every person doesn't receive and take pain the same way. There's no two people. I've seen somebody break a finger, right, and act like they're dying, like just on the floor, telling everybody they're fine or well, right? And then I seen a guy get his leg snapped and the bone protruding out of his leg, and he's sitting there chilling. He's just like, yo, is the ambulance coming? The bone is out of his leg, not a tear from this man's eye. I've seen so one broken jaw is not the same as the next broken jaw. You know what I'm
That's right.
saying, guys? So
That's
if you
right.
guys are comparing, oh, well, I saw this guy fight with a broken jaw. No, you don't know if that shit by definition broken meaning fractured. You don't know
Right.
where it broke and how the bone is protruding inside, ripping the tissue in your muscle. If you got a straight break, you can still talk with a broken jaw. But if you got a different kind of break, there's some you can't move your jaw. So I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, because this guy didn't get up from a body shot, Ryan Garcia should have got up from Tank's body shot. That's not how that goes. Every fighter is different. Every human process pain differently. So if Jaron Boots Ennis did in fact fracture his jaw or break it, David Avanesyan is a tough dude, bro. And I'm not questioning
Listen,
his quit.
listen, Edwin.
His shit needed to
Every
be snapped.
every person's pain tolerance is different. Let me give you an example.
Way different. Way different.
When my brother was fighting, back in the day, they used to be ESPN Tuesday night fights when you were a
When
prospect.
your when your
Remember
brother was
those?
fighting for Don King,
Well, he wasn't signed with Young Don King yet, but he was coming up, and
Okay.
he was fighting as a B-sider with a kid called Sal Lopez, who was actually a great Olympian. Was actually came out in a couple of movies. Young Mexican fighter. No, actually, I'm sorry. Sal Lopez was actually Puerto Rican, and my brother broke his jaw where his teeth came out. As soon
Mm,
as he hit him, he went like this with the gloves. He felt it. He knew when he went to the corner, they put the bucket that he spit, three teeth came out with it.
yeah.
He
You
wasn't gonna keep fighting. He
right.
felt it off the rip. Everybody's pain tolerance is different.
Yeah. When Floyd Mayweather got his tooth knocked out, he got his new tooth knocked out, and then fucking went back to the corner and came back out. And that was I gotta admit that was probably one of his toughest opponents, right? But um that there's been a lot of fighters but you wouldn't be able to tell is what I'm saying with Mayweather. When he came out the next round, he was good. You unless you saw the film in slow motion that you saw his tooth go doo, like this, right? That you said to yourself, um, uh, uh, Madonna hit him was like, bam, and that fucking tooth went like that. But he was so calm, cool. He had such a great poker face, Floyd, that he didn't give you anything. He was the type of man that even if you hurt him, he had a great poker face. You couldn't tell if you hurt him. Like
Hey,
Mike Tyson said,
it just happened to Derek White in the Boston Celtics. Right to the floor, bam, tooth gone, got up, played, and for the parade, he had brand new teeth. That's what
yeah,
money does.
yeah, yeah. See, some men don't got time to bleed. They're
That's
in
right.
action mode. And
That's right.
some men, the pain is just too much. So I'm not gonna sit here and start saying question these boxers' toughness when in actuality the injury could be similar, but there might be things inside going on different. It could be worse for this guy. A broken jaw is just not a broken jaw. There's a billion ways you can break it. There's ways that you could break it that's less painful. There's ways you could break it that is excruciating pain. So the same injury can be anywhere on a level for any individual. It's just not the same. It depends how that injury is sustained. Okay, so a broken arm isn't a broken arm for everyone.
Now,
Okay, so
has that been confirmed this morning? That
no, 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 no. I'm just look. I'm
observation.
observation.
Okay.
What I saw, he caught him too flush,
Okay.
and then when he did catch him, what I can't really tell is that if David was going back and he was opening his
Right.
mouth
Right.
at the
Okay.
time.
So that's
Was he
right. It's
going
an
like this? Was he
observation.
going? Was he going like that to breathe? And then he caught him. Because
Right.
and then if you catch him with the mouth separated, it's easier to
Hmm.
break the jaw. So I was like, shit. I was trying to peep that, you know what I'm saying, to see if he caught him like that. But in order to make David Avanesyan quit, I really feel like the injury he sustained was significant. In order for it to make him quit like that, he was. You got to understand that this is his opportunity at a world title.
Right.
This is his moment.
Hmm.
He didn't want to quit, bro. He really wanted to play spoiler and beat Jerron Boots Ennis in his hometown and walk off with his IBF title. You understand?
Yeah.
So, for a man to sit on his stool and quit and call it quits, brother, that man, you know that the minute you said, "Nah, I can't go no more," there goes your belt, there goes your dreams. When's the next time at your age you're gonna get a shot? This might be your last opportunity, brother. You just don't quit. He had to be really hurt. And let me tell you something. It was good that Jerron Boots Ennis got him out of there because for me, he started to find Jerron Boots Ennis's timing. He was starting to connect with Jerron Boots Ennis as the rounds were going on, and he was sneaking that right hand straight up the middle. Okay. Jerron Boots Ennis, I even saw him take a good shot and be like, whoa,
Yeah.
he still got pop. The
Yeah.
man got pop. So it was good that he got him out of there. Don't play with a fighter like this. I don't know what guys or fans' impression of who David Avanesyan is, but I saw a fighter in there that was ready to fight. He came to fight. He came to play spoiler. This was his moment. This is his Super Bowl. This everything he's worked for in his life was in this moment and on this day. And I just don't think you're just gonna pack it up and call it quits, knowing that you're not a spring chicken. The next time your opportunity may come for a world title, you may never get that. So everything was on the line for David Avanesyan, and I just want to make it clear that um, if that man did not respond and coming into the sixth round, it was for a reason. And I'm gonna give it to him as a boxer. I'm not gonna sit here and downgrade his performance or talk shit and say David Aronesian was trash. No, he came there to fight. He gave us Jerron Boost Ennis the challenge that he was looking for, that tough fight. He made even Jerron Boots Ennis question where he was at and on his training. So that was really good. And that's the test that you want to let the American know, hey, Jerron, check it out. Ring rust is a real thing. Get your punk ass in the ring. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was a year. It was a
Yeah.
year.
No. Don't get a victory. Get the belt wrapped around your waist and another vacation. I don't want to hear that shit.
Well, he got a better win than Crawford did, because it's more impressive not to come out from the corner. Actually, I think.
And I think by record standpoint, because he didn't make it actually into the sixth round, he actually beat him earlier than Crawford.
Yeah, yeah. So I think this one was more
So it sends a
impressive.
message. It sends a message.
More impressive,
More
absolutely.
impressive.
And
So, brother,
I'm still not. Listen, it's not that I'm saying that because of that he should fight Crawford. I don't. I
right.
don't want that fight. Some people might say no. He needs to fight Crawford.
No.
I don't think so at the moment. I think he needs to unify with these
Stay in your
147.
lane, brother. Stay in your lane. Make yourself a champion, just like Crawford made him champion, himself a dominant champion at
Rule the
140.
division. Rule
Huh?
the division. There's not. There's not a
That's
lot of
what I'm saying.
There's
That's
not a lot of
exactly what I'm saying.
competition at
Make yourself
147.
make
Rule
yourself
the
that kind of
division.
champion. Yep.
Rule the division. That's it.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Stay in your lane. Why don't you rule a division like Crawford did twice and two
Right.
separate weight divisions, and then
Right.
think about doing some dumb shit like that. So anyway, look, a lot of my fight fans have been wondering about this Subreil Matais and Panda situation. And we've already seen the interview with Panda and Subreil. He's been on Mill City. He was on another platform. So my fans and us, we basically know the story, but they want to hear it from us. They want to know our opinion on what we feel about this. um, like I tell you, I love all boxers, but Subriel, he holds a special place right here, being Puerto Rican. And where does he stand right now? What do you think led to the break? Why was the break? Um, do you think that they left on good terms or bad terms? And I would like you to share um, some of your insight and your knowledge about this. If there's anything you would like to disclose, um, you know, uh, we want to hear it on this platform. So I know that you spoke to both of them, and what are your thoughts on the split?
Um, Subriel talked about the matter with El Filósofo, Puerto Rican Filósofo. He did the interview,
Yeah.
and
So
Panda did a couple of interviews also. I actually saw Panda um, get mad at some people and throw a couple of f bombs out there.
really,
But it's more than meets the eye. Let me tell you why. I was supposed to go to Mexico, right? And the first thing Pedrito told me was, "Estamos en el culo de México."
yeah.
Like, we are literally in something that you only see in movies.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, their attraction. Now, this is coming from the mouth of Subriel and Pedrito when I was to go to Mexico that time. Said every 2 weeks we go
To
on a
a
Saturday, 2 hours away, just to go to a Walmart or to a movie or to just hang out and go see some pretty girls because they couldn't find not one pretty. Sad to say, in that place where Panda lives, where the training camp is at.
yeah.
So much so that your manager doesn't travel with a fighter, and Pedrito did, showing Subriel that he's going to support him so he could stay focused on the task at hand because it's literally boring to death. There is nothing to do. Mind you, the heat is incredible for the
Unbearable, huh?
100. All right, and on top of that, Subiel misses his girls is another one. So to me, it wasn't surprising that the split happened. A lot of people say that Panda didn't have a lot of urgency with the Liam Paro fight, that he was too cool, calm, and collective. Like, some people said he should have slapped the shit like father and son Trinidad days.
Yeah.
Felix Trinidad, wake up, you're in Puerto Rico, bam. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get to fighting.
Right.
Panda was too calm. When they asked him, no, he's good. He's doing what he has to do. Bullshit. Bullshit. Where's your jab? Where's your volume of punches?
Yeah.
Subriel said it on the interview with El Filosofo. He didn't have enough volume of punches. He was too comfortable. So I'm not surprised at all. I mean, it had nothing to do with Panda and Subriel going their separate ways because of the training style. It had more to do of where the camp is, and after so many fights, he couldn't handle it anymore.
Yeah,
He
he
couldn't.
he came into three fights with Panda. He was out there in Mexico. He really missed his family, his kids, his wife being away. When I saw him in Puerto Rico, he looked a little weight drain, kind of depleted. He looked like his face was real sunken. It was just days leading into the fight. We were at the first workout, press workout and shit. And I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. I felt like Liam Paro looked healthy. You know, he just looked fresh and everything. But being in Puerto Rico and Puerto Rican, you know, it made me not say what I wanted to say, to be honest with you. Okay. And what I just was like, nah, Edwin, don't worry. Everything's going to be fine. And then when the fight was over and the decision was read, I was disappointed, but I was also out there having one of the best moments of my life. I was sharing my birthday and things like that. So the split in boxing itself, this is common in the sport of boxing, where that fighters sometime will leave a gym, you know, and go. The one thing is, when they're winning, they don't split. But when they lose, they go to another gym and then it quickly looks bad because you're leaving on a loss from your gym. Had he won a fight and then split with Panda, that would be like everybody would, well, then he won, everything was good. But if you're leaving on a loss, it's gonna bring up questions, and there was no bad blood between them. So I just want the world to know that Subriel and Panda parted ways, because Subriel feels he wants to try other avenues and other training methods, and that's common in the sport of boxing.
Well,
That's
not the methods. He wants to. He doesn't want to go that far. He doesn't
yeah,
want to be
to
that far
train,
away from his family,
to
3 and
train.
4 months away from his family, where there's nothing to do, train, and then go to your little room and do nothing. Then you
Right.
gotta wait 2 weeks to see people and excitement and a Walmart. I mean,
Yeah.
seriously, it's. it's anybody would do it. To be honest with you, I
It
mean,
could,
listen, it looks bad. It looks bad that it happened after a loss. Like
yeah,
I'm
that's
pretty
what it
sure
is.
that if it would have happened after a win and he explained what he explained on the
Right.
philosopher, then people would have been okay. But since it was coming after a loss, well, people are going to be critics. You know what I mean? Everybody's going to
Yeah.
have their own opinion about it, and that's where Banda got mad and threw a couple of f bombs in one of the interviews, like
Yeah.
"fuck whatever people think," and blah blah blah.
Right. And as a boxer, for your morale, not seeing people for 2 weeks, it doesn't always get you out of bed the best to want to go train. You don't if every day you're thinking of, maybe your kids and your wife, and then there's nobody around you, and you're like in this hot desert sun training, feeling like drained, your morale must not be all the way up. And
Right,
sometimes you need that little person inside of you to be with you, to train, to
right,
push yourself, you
yeah,
know. And when he's against you, that little person inside of you, he's not happy. You might not be training happy. So he did what he was going to do. He's going to go get, a different place to train. And look, the sky's the limit for Subreil Matias. His career is in his hands. Um, where he goes from here, who his next opponent's gonna be. There's been some honorable name mentioned names, but as we can see, Regis Progress and Cat Catterall are gonna fight now. It was gonna be Subria Matias versus Regis Progress. It's how he had won.
right,
So
yeah,
as you can see, like, and that brings me back to one of the statements that you made earlier in the video, where that the Saudis are talking about putting all these fights together, and having it, I have an opinion on that, and I say that first, okay, the Saudis have a lot of money, right? But what the Saudis do not have is fighting experience, business experience, and announcing fights. So far, they've announced 4 or 5 fights that never came to fruition. Why? Because they have a tendency of putting the cart before the horse. They announced the fight with Anthony Joshua and Dante Wilder, but Wilder lost to Parker. Fight never came to fruition. They announced Naoya Inoue fighting out, and it won't didn't come to fruition. Now they're announcing Terrence Crawford, right? In another fight, and he hasn't even got past this August 3rd. And they're already putting him on another card, the Saudis, against
and
Saul,
Eddie
against
Hearn
Saul Canelo Alvarez.
and Eddie Hearn said last night that he's gonna beat Terrence Crawford.
Listen. He said that Israel, because Ed Hearns has Israel in the fight against Terrence Crawford. He has him picked. He's like, Ed Hearns has been saying for a while, the world is sleeping on Israel. And
Mm-hmm.
you guys think that this is easy
Mm-hmm.
going up in weight.
Right,
Terrence
right,
Crawford's going to have problems. Now,
right.
out of all the fighters that go up, while I watched him go up, the one thing is that I paid attention to is how they performing in the new weight division. I noticed since Teofimo Lopez from 130 to 135, his power hasn't really been there at 135 like it was at 130. It didn't translate. But when you watch a fighter such as Terrence Crawford, one throughout the divisions, 135, 140, 147, power's still there. That means that his power is God given. It's coming with him. Naoya Inoue, 4 weight divisions. Boop, boop, knocking him out. Oh, it looks like his power is coming with him through all the divisions. But not every man is like that. Not every man is like that. But Terrence Crawford is. And when I've seen him move up to 3 weight division, the one thing that never left him was his power. So Ed Hearns might be saying he's moving up in weight. I'm not questioning Terrence Crawford's power. I'm just questioning, can Terrence Crawford move, have his twitch like muscles and his speed at that weight? It's easy to be the fighter you are at your weight, but can you fight in your skin heavier? And are you going to be the same fighter? So That's all I got to see. But I'm not questioning his power. I believe that Terrence Crawford is smart. He's got a great ring IQ, and he's fought guys like this before. He fought guys like this before. Those Russian tough dudes type guy, kind of like, Tommy Tame type dudes, where it's kind of like those zombie fighters where you run into that fighter, you hit him with everything, he's still coming forward. Like those Mexican real boxers like Julio Cesar Chavez and shit. But he doesn't panic. He's fought those guys. And Terrence Crawford is not going to panic in situations. And he's been under the big bright lights and he's been champion. So, I like the fight. I like the fight. It's an opportunity for two belts. I like the fight. I like the fight. Hey, listen, one of the sneakiest fights on that card is that Eastside Pitbull Cruz fight against Jose Valenzuela, man. Yo, I'm not counting Jose out. I think he can pull the upset. I think,
Listen,
and like these guys are already, once again, they the August 3rd card has not even arrived. They already got Isa Pitbull Cruz fighting Shakur Stevenson on their next card, and Terrence Crawford fighting Saul Canelo Alvarez in their head. And these guys haven't even entered the ring on this card yet.
well, the fact that this is what Shakur, the reason Shakur hasn't signed with anybody at the moment, because right now, hashtag chasing greatness, like he says. Um, it's not about the money, supposedly. He wants to unify.
If it
He
wasn't about
wants
the
to,
money, the person that can get you that unification is Bob Arum. Go back to Top Rank.
well, that's the thing. Like right now, he said Tank and Lomar unifying. I can't get that fight. So the next best thing is William Cepeda, El Camarón. Oscar told him, "Oh yeah, let's make that happen. I can make that happen right now under one condition. You got to sign with me."
Yeah.
So now, and he put it up in social media. Shakur did. Well, Oscar's in the mix. This is going to be interesting. You know what I mean? Who offers the best unification along with the money? Talking about that division, 135 pounder. So Shakur leaves Top Rank. Who does Top Rank have left? Loma, right? Tell me about the guy that fought last night, Murataja. How far do you see him going? What do you think about him and his performance?
Well, there's a lot of people in the ranking with 135 when you got Mason and you got, Keyshawn Davis and all of them. It's easy to watch him and get lost and think just for his, can, I think with his performance last night, he has a lot of work to work on. He has a lot of work. He looked good. He understood boxing. The objective to boxing is to hit without being hit. That's the rules. And I just think that, with a lot of the guys that are coming up, you see, because in my years in my head, I'm anticipating some jumps. I was anticipating that Bruce Carrington was going to grow into his body. He was going to move up in weight. I was anticipating Camille Moten to do the same thing, which was going to add a lot of fire to the 130s division, 130, 135, and so forth. I was going to see if Keyshawn Davis was going to be able to stay in that weight with the frame that he had, or whether he was going to push up. So watching his performance amongst the other prospects and what the vision I already have in my head,
Right.
you know, coming
Yeah.
into this year, on my channel, my theme was be prepared to see your favorite fighter lose. And for 2025, I'm already calling it. I'm saying it's going to be one of the biggest boxing years. If you think 2023 was big, 2025 is going to be huge for boxing. That's when we're going to see all our young prospects collide with the older champions. It's going to be a lot of champions on their way out, and it's going to be a lot of champions and prospects trying to go from prospect to contender. It's going to be a really interesting year. And one of my subscribers made a comment that Subreil Matias at 32 years old switching trainers, that's crazy. Now, the problem is when you think like that, you're thinking he has to start over. Subreil Matias is not starting over on nothing. You don't have to change him as a fighter. You just got to make him happy as a fighter so that he trains better. That's it. You already have an established fighter. He's already beaten, got a world title with the style he has. You don't have to change him. All you want is to give your fighter a better working environment where that he's happy and he has the energy and his morale is up and he's training at his peak. You don't have a guy that's homesick, being drained by the sun, depressed a little, hasn't saw a human face in 2 weeks, and you want him to get up with the fucking morale to train like a guy that you don't even got anybody to kick it with. And you guys don't even, Mexicans and Puerto Rican language is similar, but it's not the same. Okay? So it was probably, and he doesn't speak English. So he probably wasn't even communicating with a lot of people. So these are a lot of factors that people look, guys. He's 32 years old. He had a bad night at the office. So what? He lost the fight. He didn't get wiped down. He wasn't exposed. He lost a close decision. That's what happened. And if you ask me, Subreil Matias walked away from that fight feeling, I didn't really feel like I lost that fight. I feel like I just might have underperformed and I didn't have a good night at the office.
It could have
Winning the
even been a
world
draw.
title,
It could have
yeah,
even been a draw.
right. So this is not a case where he was exposed, because in order to be exposed, you need to be wiped down. It needs to show that your style is a fraud. You were exposed. There was no exposure. You lost the fight. That's all.
Right.
So all this panic about him going to another trainer, it's not about him reinventing the wheel. He's not going to go in there trying to reinvent a new style. And at 32 years old, you're thinking in your head, oh, this is way too late. No, just make the man happy and get him in shape with the way he fights. He won this far like that. Okay, with everything, he can work on defense. He can work on a stiffer jab. But Subreil's going to be Subreil. And I'm telling the world right now, and I'm going to stand on it. I'm going to stand on it here at Round One Sports Talk. Yes, you heard me say it, and you guys can call me on it on this video, right? Subreil Matias is going to be fine. In his very next fight, I feel sorry for the guy they put in the ring with him to show the world he's coming back for that belt. And whoever they can get to stop shaking, to get out of from under their bed, right? Because they're going to paint it like he's not the boogeyman, like he wasn't that dude. Bro, listen to what I am saying. In an NFL game, you get one night to win the trophy. This ain't no NBA finals where the best out of 7, you can get my belt. No, I fucked up. I had one bad night. You walked off with my belt. That's what happened. I feel sorry for the man they put in front of Subreil Matias and his next fight. I'll stand on it here at Round One Sports Talk. Subreil Matias, I know you ain't going to let us down, baby, because I know what kind of man you are. And I don't mean this, but that man's a killer.
Yeah.
That man's a killer. And I'm going to tell you right now, yeah, él está mordido. And he
What?
knows. He knows.
Well, I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna try to see when he calms down. And right now he went to Orlando. He had some vacation with his kids, and he's back in Puerto Rico now, doing his rounds, talking about it now. For the first time, and But I'm gonna see if he could come on and come on with us down the line. But we'll talk about that later. What I want to mention to you is on that matchroom card, there was another welterweight besides Boots Ennis that I wasn't too impressed with. And I think they're trying to do too much with this kid to her. And it surprises me because Kenny Ellis is a great trainer. It's Major Hackett, Khalil Hackett.
Jaleel Hackett? Yeah.
Khalil Hackett at 147. They stepped him up last night and it showed. and it showed. What did
Yeah.
you think about that fight?
Look. Here's the problem with the expectations and where our fighters need to be. In reality, Jaleel Hatchett is actually where he needs to be in his career. What hurts him is this. Everything and all the expectations he's already putting on himself as a young fighter when he doesn't have the record to be talking like he's talking. When
Right.
in fact, last night was the first time he passed the fourth round. Okay, as for us to see what he looks like, Jaleel learned a boxing lesson last night. He learned what it's like to have to be a little tired in a fight. He started to get fatigued when things weren't going his way. And a guy that can take your punch. Dawson, he took his punch well, and Dawson started to fight better in the later rounds. Pete Dawson started to fight better in the later rounds. When Jaleel, I mean, for me as a young fighter, as a coach, if I was his coach, I would have liked to see what I saw last night. And I will remind my fighters, see, motherfucker, you're not the best in the world. You almost got your ass kicked, punk. Get your punk ass back in the gym, right? But I would have liked it because I want my fighter to go through this while they're young. I'd rather than him go through it now than in the fucking mega fight for the belt in his career. So as that part, yes. This part of boxing, I try to zero that out. All this, I'm him, I'm that, I'm better than this. Okay, I get selling fights, right? But it's your performance that I pay attention to. Um, I think that Pete took his punch well. He fought a much bigger fighter and lost to Connor Ben. So Pete, I knew that he could take a punch. He was flat-footed. He didn't keep his head off the center line. He was there to be hit. Khalil Hackett didn't put him away, but it shows to Pete's resilience. And if you're gonna be that kind of guy, it's gonna show you in your career. Okay, this is the first time you came up against a tough guy. The next time you come up against a tough guy, you got to figure out a way to put him down. I can give you, a B on your performance. But like I said, he's a young fighter. He's a very
Dobson
young. It's too
Dobson
early in his
came in.
career to start.
Dobson came in at 16-1 to Hackett's 5 fights. I mean, come on, guys. You know what I mean? What are you trying to do? Put this kid in a title match soon?
I know, right?
I mean, come on.
Slow
I mean,
down.
slow down. Slow.
It's this. It's the
So
management, the promoters,
listen,
it's everybody.
you mentioned Camille Moulton.
Yeah.
Do you think that he is the best fighter coming out of the Mayweather promotions camp?
I think early for his age, I think for the age limit what he
Teenager.
is.
He's a teenager. Yeah, he's a
No,
teenager
yeah.
fighting.
Like
Do you think
in comparison to where Tank was at 19, 20 years old, and to every fighter that was ever in Mayweather stable, for Camille Moulton's age, I think he's the best polished fighter.
I don't think so. I don't think
You
so.
think Tank Davis at his age was smarter?
No, no. The guy that I would compare more has a similar style coming out of the stable, the Mayweather stable, is Jersey Vargas, 20-year-old kid.
Yeah, but
Jersey,
you
what?
think he's better polished than Camille Moulton?
Absolutely. Look, that kid
I've watched
is,
him.
listen, he is so similar to Tank Davis, training wise, fighting wise. I mean, Camille Moulton,
Here's my
yeah,
problem. Here's my problem. I'm saying that Camille Moulton was better than Tank Davis at his age.
well, he's a teenager.
Okay, no, what I'm saying is Camille Moulton came in the game at 17. When Tank Davis was 17, Camille Moulton looks better. I'm saying this is what I'm saying. That Camille Moulton looked better than Tank Davis at 17 than Tank Davis did at 17. Now, I'm not saying that the man that Tank Davis is today. I think Tank Davis is a little bit too much for Camille right now, right? But he'll give him a good fight right now, even. But I think Tank will catch up to him with his ring smarts
And
and his
Moten,
shots.
Moten has been beating up kids. You're not supposed to be not kids, old men half his age. You're not supposed to be a teenager in the pros and put it away these guys half your age.
Well, those go to speak to the special one. Mayweather was doing that when he was a kid to all the pros in his gym. Mayweather was beating the shit out of all the pros in the gym, and that's when he knew that he was on the level at 17 to be in the pros. You see, and then he went for that Olympic run. But those are the special ones. Those are the ones that you notice right away. The shit that Camille Moten is doing. That's why I have a lot of, and I speak highly of him,
Yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah.
because I believe
I actually like the kid. I
I
actually
like
like
him.
the
I
kid.
like him. You
Yeah.
know, and I ignore all the theatrics that are coming from Mayweather and all the other fighters, and the similarity that the way he looks in comparison with Tank Davis. I try not to let any of that distort my view. Roll Rage, thank you, baby, for the donation, and I try to not to let you know. I like, and I'm just judging Camille Moten on his first 3, 4 fights. You know, what he looked like, the way he looks like turning just 18 years old. He just turned 18.
Hmm.
Okay. Just like, for instance, they got Keyshawn Davis ranked and they're advertising him higher than Abdullah Mason.
With less
But
fights.
yeah, but I actually think that it's backwards.
We spoke about it last
You
week.
see, I actually think it should be the other way around.
Yes.
So, look, my opinion, I'm not comparing him to nobody. I just like that, he looks, for an American kid, that Camille Moten kid definitely looks pretty good, man. He
He
looks pretty
does.
good. He
He
looks
does.
good for
But
an American fighter.
I
I like him.
guarantee you that Vargas, when he blossoms, it's gonna be like como la espuma, va a subir como la espuma. That kid
Yeah,
is nasty.
another Vargas is the El General.
Right, right.
The,
No,
the
I understand. But this kid is Dominican. This kid has
Yeah,
nothing
no,
to
no,
do
no.
with
I
it.
That's why I said another Vargas
Yeah, yeah.
is El
Yeah.
General is another top prospect, that out of all the Vargas sons, that El General kid, I like him the best. He looks the most focused, the
No,
most
yeah, yeah,
determined.
absolutely. Yeah.
He looks like he's gonna be the one to carry that torch, bro, for me. For out of the Vargas kids. He just looks, El General he has a different approach than his other brothers to boxing. His other brothers all got tattoos, gold chains. He ain't got one tattoo.
No,
I ain't got no time to get tatted. I gotta train.
and he's the most polished.
Yeah.
He's the most polished out of the three brothers.
Yo, I tell you what though, right? Um,
Somebody's asking you that who the fuck is Camille? Who the fuck is Camille?
Cormier Moten is a young Olympic.
No, he's probably saying it because you're probably hacking his name like you usually do. So
Then you're new to my
they're
channel.
probably
If you're new to my channel, everybody in the world already knows that. They know I'm the names. Yo, I kill them, bro. Welcome. Then welcome. Subscribe to the channel. But the knowledge and the facts are all real, baby.
they're
But
probably
anyway,
messing they're probably messing with you.
yeah, they always do. My chat, they want to give it to me. Hey, yo, I'm pretty sure that Bam Bam said something about the mic check already. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's old. That happened at the beginning.
Yeah. No. I gotta, yo. These guys got jokes. They got jokes for days, but it's because they know that I be calling these fights like Notre Dame, and I got the Notre Dame title here at Round One Sports Talk. Y'all know, hey, yo, Bam, click it down there. Don't lie now, right? I know we be picking the fight. That's an inside joke between us. But anyway, listen, guys. Another what fight if anyone on the top rank fight card, I wanted to get to that too, and get your pick your brain on. Did you like anything on the top rank card, besides the main event?
I already told you it was only one.
There was only one, huh?
It was only one.
That's it.
Gio Lopez.
Yeah. Hey, look, they could be other cards in the future that some of these kids need to pay attention to see if they can get on. Maybe he can get on one of those Saudi cards, and get himself in position. Because you know what I was talking about the other day? That if they really wanted to advertise a fighter such as Naoya Inoue, they should find a way. Top Rank needs to like take a step back. I know who Naoya Inoue is. He ain't no co-main event to nobody's card. But if you can get him with an American, there's not a lot of them. Like a Terrence Crawford. You put Terrence Crawford the main event and Naoya Inoue the co-main event. You'll get that Naoya Inoue kid the best exposure you can, because everybody's already there going to watch the main event. And
Right.
then the next fight you throw him, I bet you Naoya Inoue can carry the night. But you want to get him eyes. You don't got to control the fight. Just let Naoya Inoue be himself. He'll gain the fans, and just let him do his job. He's gonna be just fine. But you gotta put him on. And since I didn't see them put him under a Tank Davis card, because you know how he is, right? And top rank with the PB. I didn't. So, and then you couldn't put him with Tyson Fury, which is a top rank fighter, because that's in Saudi, because he can't leave to him. He can't come to America. So I started trying to do the math where you can put him on also a fighter that has a big that people are going to come out anyway. You see, you're just trying to get him exposure. You want to get him some eyes. So, what fight card can Naoya Inoue go on in Vegas? Who can carry the night in Vegas, and then just give Naoya Inoue his platform so that the
Tank
next
Davis.
time, huh?
Tank Davis. Tank Davis.
Yeah, but you're not going to get him on that card.
You never know. You never know. I've seen nothing surprises me. Who's the biggest ticket seller in boxing?
Tank Davis.
I've seen promote. Listen, Eddie Hearn right now is working with everybody, and it has nothing to do with Eddie Hearn. It's actually Turkey. The Turk man is
No,
actually
it's top
making.
rank. Top rank owns Naoya Inoue.
No, no, no. But what I'm saying is that Turk is the one that has shown all these promoters how to work together,
Yeah,
how to
money. It's
see,
called money. It's called
how to
money.
see, how to see the money, the business side of it, and forget about your ego and who's the best promotional company.
Yeah.
The Turk really has done that in the United States. So going forward, nothing's going to surprise me who fights on what card. Because if the show he wants to make, there's guys on there from Matchroom and Top Rank and PBC. He doesn't care about that. He just wants to see the best fighters fight each other.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's hard when, you know, with the thing with a lot of these boxing promoters, the whole thing about promoting is having your name or your logo on the center of the ring. When Don King used to put a Don King boxing match, you knew it because it said King, Don King promotion right in the center of the ring. And there's a lot of times when these guys get in pissing contests over whose name is announced first or put on the t-shirts and who's not. And as a promotional company, that's how you promote to attract other fighters to you. I mean, it's all a big business. As you're promoting one fight, you're thinking about other things as a promoter. But as a fighter, you're just thinking about and concentrating on the fight. So the Saudis want to make what they call like a boxing league where they want to buy out Ed Hearns. They want to buy out Top Rank. They want to buy out. So there'll never be no more Top Rank. And then what they'll do is the Saudis just they think that every man is moved by money. And when a man comes along and shows them, I'm not moved by money, it surprises them. And because they wanted to put Naoya Inoue on one of their fight cards, and they threw around this outrageous number, $69 million, and they wanted him to fight either at this catchweight fight or fight this other guy. But when you got a champion that's fighting for legacy, he has a 21 fight world title fight consistent record. He fought nothing but champions. He's never fought a tune-up fight, and he's never fought at a catch weight. So everything he's never done in his career, you want him to do break all those shits in one night just to please you for money. And he only made $6.7 million his last fight. You would think that that dollar amount would have went ching ching and he would have jumped on it. But that man is motivated by legacy. What you're going to say about me when it's all said and done? When they open the books and write my name amongst the best fighters in the world, this is that they're going to show my body of work. This is what I accomplished. And if you weren't fucking around, popping bottles, taking vacations, this is what you can achieve. And if you weren't fighting gimme fights and catchweight fights and you stayed the course, this is the legacy you can leave behind. When Naoya Inoue retires from the sport of boxing, the next men that are coming up are going to look at the bar that he set. And if you want to do Naoya Inoue shit, there's only one way to do it. Get to fucking work, bro. Get to work. Because you got a lot of fucking belts.
Your boy commented on there and said, I think it's Bruce, with Big Turkey, everything's possible. I agree with that. And then Roll Ray said, I thought Tank rubbed the Saudi the wrong way, asking for a Lambo. It actually wasn't Tank that asked for the Lambo. It was Turkey offering two Lambos in his driveway, and Tank
No,
said, I don't care how many, I'm not fighting for you,
yeah,
or
yeah.
I'm not fighting in Saudi Arabia. But once
But
again, the Turk came to America now, so anything's possible now. Tank
uh,
doesn't want to fight in Saudi. I guess he's afraid of down yonder.
okay, what happened was before you got to the information that the Saudis said it was two. The truth of the matter is, Ed Hearn and Tank Davis was going back and forth one time on social media, and Tank Davis said jokingly, "Well, if the Saudi wants to see me, he needs to send me two Ferraris, and then
Two Lambos, two
two
Lambos.
Lambos, yeah, two Lambos, and then." The Sheik dude kind of took it like a disrespect kind of,
Right, right.
and he said some shit. So it was actually Tank that said it first, but nevertheless, Tank wasn't moved by his money.
No,
When Ala Sheik went and try to like, Tank wasn't moved by it. You know what I'm saying? So like, and the funny thing is, like, you would think that Tank just changed his name to a Muslim. They're Muslim. You would think that they would like not piss off the most powerful money Muslim in the world, right? So I was like, Tank, what are you doing? Like, what the fuck are you arguing with this guy for? Right? I didn't understand it, right? But I guess there are men in this world that have what we call machismo too. And they're so much on themselves as, I don't give a fuck how rich you are. I'm Tank Davis. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
big
know,
eagle, big eagle,
yeah, there's a lot
big
of
eagle.
egos clashing, you know, and I don't think Tank Davis really understands that dude's power, but that's another story. But as in the world of boxing, there are a lot of big moves, and boxing's evolving, and we're gonna see, like some old like Showtime leaving boxing, just like I saw HBO walk out. I had a lot of good boxing experiences on Showtime and on HBO. I have a lot of moments in my head. And now new players are coming in. Amazon Prime is coming. And the Saudis are coming, stepping their way into the game of boxing. They have a
Man,
lot to
even the
learn.
USA Network had boxing back in the day. Remember that?
Yeah, yeah. Remember we used to
USA
have Friday night fights.
Friday Night Fights. Yeah,
Yeah, and we used to
my my,
like,
my brother fought in a few of those.
yeah, yeah, and like there was just a lot of different moments and times in boxing. And if you're gonna evolve in any sport, you have to grow. So I'm looking forward to change. I'm not going to fight change. I'm not going to be that guy that says, like that old NFL guy that's like, you guys are pussies now. In my days, we used to clothes hang and shit, not understanding that the life expectancy of a quarterback back then was like 3 or 4 years.
But why did the Patriots get rid of Bill Belichick?
Out with the old, in with the new.
Yeah, well, because he doesn't want to transition to the new way of doing things
Right.
and wants to do things his way. And
His
in
way.
order
Yeah.
to win, you got to transition
You
to
got
what
to evolve. You got to evolve.
you got to evolve. You got to
And
evolve.
sometimes men like just get stuck and like group for the Raiders. He still didn't do things on the laptops. He still had a paper system. All his coaching staff, he made them all write down. And all the other NFL teams, they're on iPads. They're swinging. They're flipping pages. He still got the fax machine, printing them out play by play, not evolving with your sport, not evolving. And
Mhm.
boxing's evolving. So I'm gonna cover it. I'm gonna change with boxing. I enjoy what's the men and women that are coming up. Even you got your little Clarissa Shields that is jumping up right now. Two weight divisions for the Americans, challenging to dare to be great. You mentioned to me there was a fighter on that Clarissa Shields card. Your boy there, right?
Yeah, local. Now he trains here, not too far from here. Michelle Ali Rivera, La Salsa Ali, the Muhammad Ali lookalike, will be
Yeah.
fighting on July 27th on that Clarissa Shields in Detroit. He now fights for Salita Promotions. So that fight on July 27th will be at Detroit on the
Hey,
zone.
listen. I remember me and you one time talking about Cormier Moulton and Javante Tank Davis and Floyd Mayweather situation. And Javante Tate Davis and Floyd Mayweather were going back once upon a time on social media, and Cormier Moulton chimed in, and because of that comment, Tank Davis said, "I'm gonna kick you off of my card. Guess what? You're not boxing on my fight card no more." And then Camilo said, "Floyd, like, what's up? Fix this." And Floyd said, "Don't worry, you're not going nowhere. You're gonna fight on the card." Lo and behold, Tank Davis was true to his word. Camille Moulton had to fight on Nick Diaz's undercard on a gimme kind of fight type deal. How do you feel Mayweather promoting him and putting on that kind of fighter on those kind of cards? Did you like it? Was it good for boxing? Was it did you what? And then Tank Davis being butthurt and taking it out on Camille Moulton.
Listen, Mayweather does things the Mayweather way, the TMT way. When Frank Martin fought Michelle Rivera in Las Vegas, I covered
No.
that fight. I covered that fight. On that same event, upstairs in the same casino, Mayweather was having a show, a show with the same tickets that you used for that PBC event. You could go on the elevator to the next floor and watch Molten fight and the stable of fighters that Mayweather had fighting that day. So it doesn't surprise me that Mayweather threw the kid on that card because he's going to do things his way. I've seen Mayweather do crazy shit. It doesn't surprise me. So you got two big egos going at it.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, look, Mayweather's track record with fighters as a boxing promoter, I try to take away Mayweather's name and who he was as a fighter, you know, rather than ex- know that him as a promoter, those are two different people. And as a promoter, he hasn't really has a good track record with, and not being able to sustain Tank the way he did. I really like Cormil Moten, and I think that if he brought along right, he will be a future champion. And that's the kid that's gonna fight your Abdullah Masons, your Keyshawn Davises later in the future. Those are gonna be your fights. I expect Keyshawn Davis and Abdullah Mason meeting one day, but I hope that that fight is further down the line. The further down the line, I think the fight will be better. Okay, I just don't want them to shoot right now at the bottom of it. So, look, I just don't think that Mayweather right now, he's going through a transition. Let's see what Richard does for him, like he did for Golden Boy. I think that that was a really smart move. If he wants to be serious about being a boxing promoter, well, he has to be serious about his staff. The one thing that Oscar De La Hoya did well is that he had passionate people in his corner when Oscar was out there doing fuck shit. Oscar didn't build Golden Boy, and the world knows that. But at least he was smart enough to get good people to build that brand up as Golden Boy. And Mayweather needs to recognize that. And by hiring Richard now and bringing him in, maybe Richard can really turn around the name for Mayweather promotion. And about time they buy the building. Mayweather promotion's been around how long? Since he was an active fighter. Mayweather promotion, TB Mayweather, and you still mean to tell me you don't own a building? You don't have anyone that answer a phone call? Mayweather, you're still doing business off a cell phone? You don't have a staff? You're doing money out of shoebox, fights out of shoebox money? And you've been yelling Mayweather promotion since when? Since you were an active fighter. And there is still no current building or office for your promotional company. And he had the financial backing to do it, so there's no excuse for him. It's just learning, just getting more serious with your investments. And if this is truly something you wanted to do, Mayweather at the time, he wanted to spend his money, the fruit of his labor, and who can blame him? He don't got time to be a boxing promoter. Hire people to do that, like Richard. You know, um, you know, Mayweather had an extensive career. I don't blame him for doing that, but there were a lot of opportunities that just on his name alone, Mayweather name, fighters were brought to him. He didn't even have to go look for these guys. Fucking AB brought Tank to him. They brought Camille to him. All these fighters went. It was like he has that Jordan effect, like what Jordan has on basketball. Jordan walks in a fucking thing and says, "Yo, anybody want to play for me?" Phew, 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 phew. They're just gonna, and he has that. And it's a shame he wasn't able to capitalize on it for a good promotional company. So, yeah, yeah, man. I just look. Hopefully, who knows? Maybe Richard turns it around for Mayweather and they become better. And
Well,
Bruce says,
there's a reason he hired him, so we'll see.
yeah, he took a lot of punches to his brain. All boxers are weird. Every legend, every great GOAT has a little bit of cuckoo right there. They're not like your typical regular person. Tom Brady and the dorkiness that he says, and he's real, like, acts timid, but he's a fucking killer up here. And Jordan, he wore his killerness on his sleeves. And he'd stare you down like, motherfucker, what? Like I'm a dunk on you, right? And all the great legends were a little. So when you say Floyd, has it's just That's how they are. That's how they are. And there's just something special about those kind of men and women that they see a different vision in the game. Tom Brady saw football and he was so ahead of his time that they weren't going to realize he was ahead of his time until he was gone. Michael Jordan had a vision on the court that very few basketball players ever saw the game the way he saw it, through his lens of eyes and his understanding of the game. And Floyd Mayweather, I mean, for God's sake, the Philly shell style's been around for centuries before fucking Floyd Mayweather. He came and reinvented it. He made it the Mayweather Philly shell style, and no one has been able to duplicate it quite like him. Unless you were born with all the God-given talents he has and the understanding of boxing, you're not gonna pull that shit off. So he's very unique in his way, and I got to admit it. And that's why he's on the wall, and I show him respect as one of my legends, and I pay homage to the men that paved the way to allow the Subreil Matais, the Felix Trinidads of the world to be able to get their stages and showcase their talent, because men like this kept our sport on their shoulders and kept it up there when boxing was plummeting and was never revered as baseball, football, or basketball. But Mayweather kept fucking boxing like this while he was holding it by himself in Las Vegas, fucking maxing out pay-per-views so that the kids today, the Camille Motons, the Abdullah Masons, all of them should show respect to that man because he kept it on fire. And here's your stage. Do what he did before you talk shit about some of our legends.
I hear you. I hear you, boy.
That's what it is. Let's see if these
That's
kids
what.
can keep the torch like the men that did it.
Well, one thing I could say about Floyd is that he knows how to make money.
Yeah. My man's
He
like,
knows how to
Floyd,
make money,
Floyd's a
man.
cancer to boxing, blah, blah, blah. Listen, look, whether you loved or hate him, why is it that you know his name? So if he was so much of a cancer, you
Oh,
see,
look. Roy, Road Rage is saying, I don't get the Ali obsession. Just be Rivera the boxer. Nowhere near the skills of Ali.
yeah,
The
what
the thing with Ali is more of his looks.
it's
And
just it's just Ali Rivera paying homage to the greatest.
right,
It's
and
not that he
because
wants.
because he looks like him.
Yeah. Someone said, "Hey, kid, you look like Ali." He went with the gimmick, just to show tribute to Ali. A lot of people have wore Kobe Bryant shorts, 8 and 24, to show respect. There's a lot of people that it might be his idol. I don't know. Michelle Ali Rivera might be his idol and his way to show back. But he doesn't come out there all the fight saying, I'm better than Ali. He doesn't come out saying, trying to pretend to look like Ali. He has a whole different fight strategy, and he's just paying homage to one of the men that did it. That's all. He doesn't want to disrespect Ali. He doesn't want to be a fighter that's being obviously knocked out and
Or say,
bring
float like a
Ali's.
butterfly, sting like a bee.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? But these are fighters' ways to show respect. I mean, there are fighters named today, literally boxing, that their parents named them Floyd
Yeah.
because of their favorite fighter. He was born Floyd and he became a boxer and legitimately say, yeah, I was named after you. It's just that the people show their creativity and their respect and their way and their own unique way. Everybody, whether it's distasteful to you or whether or not, like Mayweather said, whether you were paying to watch me lose or win, you were still paying to see me. And his marketing campaign was genius. Mayweather got under people's skin with his flamboyant lifestyle, but me and you know that was all an act. I know it, you know it.
Right, right. Yeah.
He was one of the hardest working men I've ever witnessed or covered in a boxing gym. To this day, I still don't know anyone that trains harder than Mayweather. I've never met him. Mayweather was running at 3 in the morning, bro, in back of his limo. Like he was retarded. He was having like training sessions for 3 and 4 hours. His coaches were sick of him calling him in at weird hours of the day. He had an obsession. He was obsessed with boxing. It was just different, and the truth is he was one of the most decorated, well-trained, well-conditioned fighters. He showed you that if you didn't fuck around, smoke weed, sniff coke, bang prostitute, and do all this stupid shit, that you can be a 5 division world champion. Mayweather didn't belong in the last 3 divisions he was in. He was outweighed by 20 pounds. He didn't belong in there with Miguel Cotto. Miguel Cotto should have killed him. Mayweather should have never been in that ring with him.
Talking about that, did you see how big Boots Ennis looked? How much bigger he looked last night than his opponent?
He wasn't cut up. He wasn't in that kind of like shape that he was. He was
He
big.
looks he looks so much bigger. So much bigger.
I think that's due in part to him being prepared for his conditioning, his layoff. Um, he wasn't as ripped as he once was. I seen him in other fights. Let's not forget that leading into this fight last night and the 1 year inactivity, before that year inactivity, Boots didn't fight but twice a year. He only fought like twice a year. He was having a bad promotional situation. He was in a bad, and then his promoter died. His wife took over the company. She didn't want to release the rights to Jerron Boots Ennis. He had to go to court. This year of inactivity was due because, in part, he was in a courtroom fighting for if the judge would release him out of his contract deal. He signed like some outrageous 12-fight contract for like 4 or 5 years. They were supposed to get him 3 fights every year. And the promotional company didn't meet up their side of the obligation, and they were only secured on like 1 or 2 fights. And they never secured the fights that he wanted. And that was his argument in court. And then he won that. And now he has a boxing promoter that in co-affiliation, same shit with Subreil, he's doing with Ed Hearn and Matchroom. And that's where he's at today. So this fight was a showcasing of him, but he hasn't been as active as he wanted to be. Now that he's out of his contract obligation, let's see where he goes now. Let's see what Ed Hearns can do for him, or is he going to do the same thing he did to Subreil? Is he going to feed him to like maybe one of his potentials or to line his pocket? Is he amping up Jerron Boots Ennis to really fight Terrence Crawford for that Ed Hearn gets that payday and gets homeboy rocked? But here's 2 sides to that benefit, that business deal. If you go up to fight Terrence Crawford at 154, you still remain the 147 champion. You don't lose your belt. And you make a shitload of money. So it's just business. At the end of the day, it's business.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's all it is.
It's just business. You can't take him serious, Bruce. Floyd Diaz. Listen, Bruce, you know, guys, Floyd Diaz, I mean, he's establishing himself. You know, yeah, he's no Floyd Mayweather. That's for sure. He's
That's
no
for sure, right?
he's no Floyd Mayweather, that's for sure. But you know, let's see what happens. I don't think he's really gonna really be that great of a champion. But the fact that he actually laces him up, he gets up every day to train, and he dares to go out there on national TV to put it on the line to take the chance of being knocked out in front of his wife and family and shit. You know, so it's easy to judge a person from a microphone and say this guy sucks, but he's actually doing it. So, you know, I commend him for that. I love all boxers here. You know, I don't basically want to shit on any boxer, but I am critical to boxers. I am judgmental in the facts that I will break down both sides. But here at Round One Sports Talk, we don't have love for one particular fighter. We're not boxing fans. We're boxing reporters, and we love all boxers. We treat all boxers, all styles, and we're gonna report on both sides to give you, you know, I made this boxing channel for those reasons because I wanted to give the other side of the street their credit. Because when you keep saying, Bruce, this guy's a bum, this guy's trash, when your favorite fighter beats him and you want credit for that win, they're gonna come back and get the receipt that says, didn't you say that guy was a bum out of your own mouth? You need to start acknowledging these fighters as fighters and give them and break down their style. So when your fighter beats them, he gets his credit for the fucking fight. He didn't fight no tomato can, no bum. These guys are both fighters. So I break down the fight. I give you the analytics, the ins and outs of the fighters, and we call these fights. You see, I'm not a person that lost money in a boxing match and it's turning on his microphone in anger that he, you know, oh, this guy is a fucking bum now. Cause you know, what really happened was you lost your money and your butt hurt. And you're saying that Subreil is garbage now because you put money on the fight. Well, I tell you what, I don't have a horse in the race, and I'm not biased, and I'm not a gambler. I just speak facts. And I ask you guys for your opinions to help each other so that we can grow in the sport of boxing. And if you do have a favorite fighter, so what? You know, you come here, you share your opinion, and you can back up your fighter. And I give you a platform where you're free to do that. And that's what we're here for. And we're breaking down these fights, and we enjoy this. So, Jose, I gotta admit that you know, last night we learned these were the things that we took away from our sport. I'm not on the shit that I believe that I gotta talk shit about my sport, but in some weird way, I'm helping it. You know how these other YouTube channels do? They sit there and want to talk about the corruption and how bad boxing is. Don't you have a boxing channel? When are you going to talk positive about the sport you're covering? Like, at what point are you in this to build up boxing? You know? So I'm here to bring up boxing. I'm here to talk about the best, fighting the best. I'm here to hear your opinions on who you believe is a great fighter, whether or not we're all in agreement, right? I can say that I gave you a platform for you to defend your fighter. And here at Round One Sports Talk, we try to do this. Also, my boy Jose Camachito Rivera at Chosen One Productions. You can catch him. He has a YouTube. He has an Instagram. He has a Facebook
Facebook,
following.
website.
Absolutely. And this is one of my brothers in recovering, interviewing and bringing you these hard interviews and the love of we both have for the sport of boxing. This is why we do it. So, Jose, is there anything else you want to address or bring up before we go
One
here?
more thing. One more thing. Rivera Promotions Entertainment presents September 15th in Springfield, Massachusetts. We're putting the card together, but once we have it together, I'll let everyone know if anybody that is subscribed to your channel, lives around that area. They could ask me more about it, but we practically have almost the card together. Posters will be coming out. Tickets are already on sale. So pretty soon I'll promote more as we go.
Okay, okay. Hey, yo, Bruce. Yeah, no doubt, baby. Not don't take it like if I'm coming at you or anything like that. I speak for in general, and you have the right to always say what you feel about any boxer here. I'm not butthurt about it. I will always love and value your opinion. If you didn't like that dude and you don't think, fuck it, say it. Say what's on your mind, baby. And you don't have to backpedal for nobody, not even for me. All right. This is what this channel is for. You speak your mind. I'm just basically the referee. I give you both sides, and I'll always bring the fights and cover the fights to the best of my ability and my knowledge. But when I smell bullshit and I hear bullshit, I'm gonna call some bullshit. All right, and we can debate on these things. And like my brother here, Jose said, he has some boxing news that will. And if you're in the area and you ever want to check out some of these fights are amazing. These are the next young men and women that are coming up, and you never know who you get a chance to see. What if you are watching at Jose Camachito's fight here, the next champion, or the next undisputed champion, or the next Floyd Mayweather? You never know. And you may get a glimpse of that one. He may be the one at these fights. So thank you, Jose, for showing.
Yeah, and Road Rage wants to know on Silver. If you go to Facebook and follow Rivera Promotions Entertainment, go ahead and hit us at the DM and we'll get them to you. If you're 15 minutes away, we'll find a way. He said he's 15 minutes away from Springfield. So, but once we get the poster out and we have the whole card set up, as we come on Sunday mornings, I will let them know more about it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this is every Sunday morning. This show's gonna be airing at 11 o'clock. We're trying to keep it. We even logged on even earlier today. We were excited to bring the show. So this is a correlation between shows in one production and Round One Sports Talk. And this show will be every Sunday. And I go live every day between the hours of 8 o'clock, 8:30 right around there. I want to keep the schedule going. I go live every day except Monday. But I'll probably go on this Monday just to bring things up. Yeah,
Just to mix it up.
yeah, just to mix it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, road rages in Connecticut.
Oh, so yeah, I got a couple of Connecticut fighters. I
Yeah,
actually
you
have,
do.
huh?
Yeah, you do have a couple
Well, yeah,
Connecticut fighters.
actually, they train at the Katie, where Katie Taylor trains.
Yeah.
So I'll be giving a lot of info on that soon.
Good, great, great. So, look, fight fans, we've been on for a while. I love this show. I like everything. I like the feedback. I love the energy. Jose Camachito, thank you for coming on. It's always been a pleasure to talk with you about boxing and sharing your boxing knowledge and insight. So, fight fans, please drop a like. Help us push out the video. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to
Subscribe
my
to the
boy.
channel. Subscribe to the channel. We only
Absolutely.
grow. We only grow if you support us. Subscribe to the channel.
Absolutely. So fight fans, thank you for tuning in. Please drop those likes. And like always, I'm on to the next one after this one here at Round One Sports Talk. Peace. Camachito.